yeah, it's kind of overly warm, but it's freezing here in the Midwest right now. Like, this is not, even for us, this is not fair. This is not, it's 40 today, 42 or something like that, something ridiculous for the end of March. That is my white chocolate mocha latte. Yes, I know my last video was about an espresso, but I'm not there yet. I haven't learned how to use it yet, and I'm not even near my home. So, okay, let's talk about what I am currently watching, or what I'm currently watching or just finished watching, and then a little bit about what I plan on watching soon. Now, normally I watch a ton of TV. Like, typically, that's kind of all we do. Like, my fiance usually gets home in the afternoon, and we have like early dinner, and we just kind of like, the baby plays, and we watch TV, and I'll do some chores while they watch something, or I don't know. We watch a lot of TV typically, if it's not like sports season and stuff. So, as I mentioned, he's on third shift, and we haven't got to watch any. The only show that we have got to watch that we have made like a priority to keep up with is Snowfall. So we typically, that comes out on like Wednesday or Thursday nights. It comes out on Wednesday night, and we usually watch it Thursday. So if you don't want any Snowfall spoilers, like if you're not caught up, then probably don't watch this video, because what the F, like, that is my favorite show. But I will say, like, the last 2 episodes were kind of out there. Like, a tiger in the hood. What on earth? And then, like, they made it out, so they were like, Franklin and Oso were carrying like a huge bag of money around one of the hoods in LA that they really had no business being in. And like a group of peewees are like young gang members, was like, what's in your bag? And they're like, it's dirty laundry, go away. But they're like little pests, and they're like, no, show us what's in your bag. So Franklin pulls a gun out and is like, get away. So like the peewees scatter, but they go find their older gang member, like a few of the older gang members. So then they start chasing Franklin, and also like, dude, you just pulled a gun out on our friends, and we want to know what's in the bag. So they start chasing Franklin and Oso, and Franklin and Oso, they finally hide under a house. And they wait for like the whole night, or I don't know how long, before they come out from under that house, like a crawl space type thing. And then I think it's like the next morning, they're like, well, we can't sit here forever, we're gonna have to get going. So they get going, and they make it to like a little bit nicer of a neighbor, like area, a block, but it's like a nice little cluster of houses still in the area that they were in. But they're like, well, let's break into this house and use the phone. So they break into the house to use the phone, and there's all of this like taxidermy stuff going on, like stuffed bears and stuff. They're like, whoa, this is weird. And then they get shot with darts. Like, the owner of the home shoots them with like tranquilizer darts and locks them in his backyard with a tiger. And I was like, okay, I love Snowfall, and Snowfall could do no wrong, but this is out there. I'm gonna let it be, because that, like, it's only, Snowfall's in its 5th season, and it has never had a strike in my book. I've loved it, but I don't really like Franklin's baby mom. I don't know what it is just do not like that character for him. I don't know. It's just like she's just too calm and too like sing-song, and there's not a lot of like humor or personality, which Franklin's a pretty straight-on guy, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to feel. All right. We watched a 2020. Did we or did I? I don't remember. It might have just been me. No. It was me and my fiance watched it. And it was the 2020 called You've Got Jail, as in You've Got Mail, but it was You've Got Jail. And it's about this lady from like the 2000, like early 2000s or the late 90s. And I was calling her like the original OnlyFans lady because she had like all these online AOL accounts, and she would send like nudes and stuff to these men, and these men would send her money, right? And it was just like it was just kind of, that part was just, I was like, that's a thing now. Like, it's not even, that's like a huge thing now, but back then it really was like a novelty. If you were in that kind of work or that industry, it wasn't that common. Anyway, so she was like a master of, you know, the AOL type OnlyFans, and she ended up getting a job at like this car parts place in her neighborhood, or I mean in her town. And she like went for the owner of it. He was older than her, and she went for it hard. Like he wasn't even interested in her, and she was just like throwing herself at him. So then he just breaks down, and they start like dating. Sorry, my neck hurts bad. It's just my job. I've never had a good neck, but my job makes it 10 times worse. So they marry, they go to Vegas. She already had 3 kids. I think it was 3 by 3. I think they had different dads, but I don't think any of the pictures or any of the dads were in the picture. I think that her kids were just like her responsibility. And this guy that she was gonna marry, he was like a family man. He was I don't think he had his own family, but they said like he was a legit dude. Like, he treated the kids really good, and when he married her, he was accepting that those were his kids, you know. So he marries her. These poor kids, right? He marries her. And well, when I say these poor kids, right, I don't mean anything that's happened up until now, because there's nothing about her being like an AOL OnlyFans lady or having 3 kids by 3 people that makes her any less of a mom. That part is yet to come, okay? And it's about to come. Right now is where we get into that. So she talks this guy into marrying her and accepting her 3 children. And it is like pretty much the next day, or like starting right then, she starts racking up his credit card bills. In a few months, like 2 months or something, she racked up, now we're talking about, 1990s or early 2000s, she racked up $45,000 she goes to Vegas to meet with one of the guys that she's been talking to online, and they hit it off. He's like a dealer or something at one of the casinos, so they hit it off, and they commence their relationship, or what's the word for that? Anyways, she goes back home. She tells him that she got pregnant that night, and he's like excited. Then she tells him like a couple weeks later that the husband beat her up and she lost the babies. Or the baby. Lost the baby. So he's upset. You know, the witnesses and stuff are like, that's not true. Like, this guy. And so I'm not saying like don't believe somebody, but she goes further. Like, she goes back out there. They commence their relationship again, and then she's suddenly, like a month later, pregnant with twins, and then says that she got beat up by him again, and that lost those babies. So trigger warnings, but this is not real loss. There was no evidence of any of that. She's just brainwashing this guy that she was seducing, you know, and for the intent of, she wanted him to come kill the guy that she was married to, and then, you know, they would live basically happily ever after. Probably not. She would probably have him killed too, but that's where I stopped watching it. I had to do something, so I can't totally spoil it for you, but I did my best. Alright. The thing about Pam, that's on Hulu, but it's on there like the whole season is not on there. It's on there as it comes out to, I think, NBC, and it's Renee Zellweger, and it is the woman from Eastbound and Down, April from Eastbound and Down. And I don't know if it's supposed to be based on a true story or not, but it is about Renee Zellweger plays Pam, and she has a friend that's sick with cancer, and she's a weirdo in this show. She's like, she's weird, but she's supposed to be helping her friend with cancer one evening, like kind of just being emotional support. And that evening, that friend ends up stabbed in her home. So Pam is trying to blame her husband. She's like, her husband's always been weird. And her husband's like, I didn't do this. Like, I was out with my friends and I have an alibi and I stopped and got food and then I came home to this. So, I don't know. I've only watched the first episode. Me and my son watched Disturbia with the Shia LaBeouf, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's just, I don't know why I like it so much. Well, I like Shia LaBeouf that much, so maybe that's why, but it's just a really good movie, and that's on HBO Max. And I watched by myself, and it took me like 3 times to get through because I kept putting it on at night, but Urban Legends. What's weird is I haven't watched that since it was new, like in the 90s or whenever it came out, but I forgot who all was in it, and it actually has like Jared Leto's in it. What's Josh, I cannot think of his name right now. Anyway, that was another like it was like a Scream back in the day. And I kept telling my teenager, because she likes Scream, I was like, you need to watch Urban Legends because I think it's better than Scream, but whatever. I tried to watch The Dropout on Hulu, but you know what? I DNF'd that book and I DNF'd that show. I just can't do it. I'm just not interested in it. Now, there's other stuff on my list, but that's coming out soon. But I'm just going to talk about 3 things that are already out. I think all of them are already out. Deep Water on Hulu. I think it's Ben Affleck, and I can't remember the co-host's name. And it's based on a book, but I heard that the book wasn't that great. And it's weird how sometimes a not great book can be a pretty good movie. So, and I do believe it's a movie, not a show. But it's and she's got like this like flirty side that he's never seen before, and she's like going off with strangers, and but that sounds super just domestic, and I believe it's a domestic thriller, so I don't know what the thrilling part is, but it looked like it got a little creepy. Bridgerton, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch Bridgerton or not. When I watched the first season of Bridgerton, it was because there was nothing else to watch. And I think it was like the start of quarantine. I think we were pretty heavy into quarantine at that point. It was good, but it wasn't great, and it was over the top as far as like I feel like Bridgerton could have been a good family show, but it wasn't. You know, they had to make it. It was such a mix of like young adult, and then but it went over the top like with the sexual stuff. So not that there's anything wrong with one or the other, but when you mix them, it's just not my vibe. So I don't know. And then on Apple TV, I don't know if it's out yet or not, but Pachinko, Pachinko, Pachinko is supposed to be out. I did the audio book, but I only got like a quarter into it. It's such a long book that it had to be returned to the library. So I did not finish it, but what I did read of it was excellent. Like the writing was so good. And I saw the preview for the movie, or such a series. I'm not sure. I think it's a movie. And it looks like really pretty. You know, that when they have those like memoirs of a geisha, like how beautiful those movies are, it looks like it would be like really aesthetically stimulating. So I don't even really know how to tell you what Pachinko is about. It is like, because I didn't read the whole thing. I read it spans generations, so the part that I read was like way back, I don't know when, and it was kind of just about like the different like the caste system and poverty and service industry over in I'm not even sure what part of Asia, but I'll find out when I watch Pachinko. I don't even have Apple TV now, so I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna watch that. So anyways, if you have watched anything good lately, or if you have anything good or hopefully good on your to be watched list, let me know what it is.